What is your name and how old are you? My name is Shelby Haskell and I am 32 years old.
My name is Patrice and I am 33 years old.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Runyon. I am 34 years old.
My name is Taylor and I'm 38.
Okay, next question. When it comes to your health and fitness, can you tell us a little bit about your story? Have you always been in shape? You look like you're pretty fit. Is there any eating habits or anything that you would maybe want to share? And just kind of tell us a little bit about what your habits are like.
I guess I've never looked at myself as in shape or not in shape. My fitness and eating habits have always been based on what my body needs and how I feel. My body is conduit and houses my spirit and my soul, and my body and my mind are connected. So what does my body, my mind, and my spirit need? And so that's always been my approach with fitness or food or any of that.
I have had quite the story when it comes to my health journey, and maybe you can relate. Growing up, I honestly had a pretty love-hate relationship with my body. I loved working out, but I hated my body and I hated how I looked. I would say that through honestly most of my life I have felt that way, and it's been quite the journey to try to change that. When I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, and I definitely worked out a ton, but I never really learned how to fuel my body and how to take care of my body. And I routinely was going on diets and not eating and refusing to eat and doing all kinds of crazy things. I would say that, like most things, my health journey has kind of been an up and down. So when I was roughly 21 or so, I started competing. I actually met a lady who taught me a lot about nutrition, and during that phase of my life, I think that was probably my first view of actually learning how to take care of my body, learning how to fuel my body, and I'm really, really grateful for that. But after I did my first fitness competition, I became pretty aware of my physique, and I honestly really struggled with staying stage lean, and I ended up having a pretty bad eating disorder.
My fitness journey has always been one that I have desired. I've always been pretty active as a dancer and cheerleader, gymnast growing up, but when I first went into college, that was when I learned that you actually have to put forth the work in that area. That's probably the most out of shape that I've ever been in my life, and I was eating whatever I wanted to eat and not really being as active. I was working as a gymnastics coach at the time, but I still was just not healthy with my eating habits. But on a regular basis, I do try to stay active and eat healthy and incorporate a fitness routine into my life, because I really believe that the way that you treat your body, you only get one of these. So it is one of the most important things that you can do in your daily life for self-care.
My health and fitness, my story starts when I was little. That I really grew up playing a lot of sports. I used to joke with people that if you gave me a ball to chase, I could literally run all day. I think that's literally my first word was ball. I lived and breathed sports growing up. I played baseball the most. Probably enjoyed basketball the most though. Growing up, a lot of my health and or fitness came from sports. Didn't go out of my way to work out or anything. I think I took a weightlifting class when I was in either late middle school or early high school maybe. Mostly just sports. That continued into high school. And then I also did competitive drumline, which just required a lot. It's basically almost like rucking. When you're carrying a 40 or 50 pound drum for hours on end. And then to college, played intramural sports. again, never really like technically worked out. Like, it wasn't running, wasn't like lifting weights, anything like that. And then when I was in grad school, basically I didn't do anything, got really unhealthy, that I'll get into in a little bit. And then it wasn't until it was shortly after I turned 30. It just happened to be around then that I was actually going to apply to and then try to get into the FBI. They have a pretty strenuous physical fitness test, and learned, hey, if I can't pass this, they're not gonna let me in no matter how good my skills are. So that's the really big, like 30,000 foot view. So going back to when I was little, or younger, I jokingly tell people, like I feel like I should be a fat kid, or should have been a fat kid, just based on my eating. And honestly, it was a lot of binging. Like, I would sit in front of my PlayStation and drink like a 12 pack of soda. I basically lived on oatmeal cream pies, but I basically just like ate whatever my mom made. I grew up in the South, in the Southeast, so like in the Carolinas and Georgia mostly. So just because of that, generally was eating probably a lot of fried foods compared to people, I guess, in other areas of the country. But at the time, when you live there, you don't know any different. So
What is a belief or narrative that you tell yourself? So for me, I have kind of two extremes. I have one narrative that says that I'm not enough. One narrative that says that I'm not skinny enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I am not good enough, I'm just not enough. And that narrative a lot of times makes me feel like if I'm not skinny or small or lean or whatever it is, that I don't deserve love and I don't deserve good things. That's the negative narrative. There is another.
Well, the belief and narrative that I tell myself and that I try and live by is that my place here is not to judge another human being. It's to love people unconditionally, help them along the way, and if you can be kind, that's the way to go.
my journey since then has been very interesting. I don't know a better word for it yet. I think I've learned through growing up and then seeing how my family didn't take care of, or don't take care of their bodies, how I was using a lot of shame to should myself and tell myself, oh, I should be exercising more. That it wasn't so much because I wanted the benefits of it, that I wanted to live a long, healthy life, that I wanted to be able to still be able to run when I'm 80, or to still be able to cycle when I'm 80 or whatever. It was all, I'm doing this so that way I'm not fat. I don't like end up like some people in my family. So that worked well to motivate me for a season, and then it actually ended up being really unhealthy for me to do that.
You can do what you believe you can do. If you can see it in your mind and you believe it, then you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, then you can't. So you are what you believe you are. And that's in every area in life.
The belief I have about myself, especially about my body and about physical fitness, a lot of times I have the belief that if I stop controlling it as much as I have, then I'm actually going to go back to the way that I was before, where I drink a lot, I smoke a lot, I eat whatever I want, eat a lot of sugar, sweets, and fried foods. I love those. They're delicious. And so right now I'm having to live in this season where I'm trying to trust myself and go, no, I don't need that kind of motivation like I used to. I actually really enjoy going out and running. I like running. I'm grateful. It almost feels like my happy place. Not that I'm always happy when I'm running, but when I'm running, that's the place where I always get my like harebrained ideas, where I'm like, holy crap, I can start my own business. I can do this. It's really motivating to me, that putting myself kind of through the ringer physically allows me to do that.
How do you feel about your body? So if you asked me 2 weeks ago how I felt about my body, I would tell you that I don't like it and I feel gross and I don't like how I look and I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. If you would ask me today how I feel about my body, I would say that I love my body, that I'm proud of my body, that I'm so grateful that I'm able to run and to work out and to do all kinds of different things. I'm learning that how you feel about your body and the thoughts that you have, it's an active practice. So sometimes you can feel amazing about your body and sometimes you can feel terrible about your body. And you really have to continue to practice to have those thoughts and to change your narrative if you genuinely really want that.
I love my body. I really do. I think that it's healthy. I think that there's also room for growth and progress. I would love to see more muscle definition in my body. And I believe that, that just comes with putting the work in and actually being intentional with weightlifting and feeding my body more protein and drinking more.
I'm increasingly loving my body and accepting it as it is, that I'm not going to have the body of X person that I see or that I want to emulate, that my body is mine. And yeah, there's no point in wishing you can have someone else's body when...
The narrative I'd like to believe about myself is that I actually do the things that I say I'm gonna do. Like, I put action behind my words, and I'm working so hard to make that narrative my everyday reality. And I'm tired. I've always been a big dreamer, but I'm so tired of dreaming. I want to start seeing it, like to feel it and touch it. And so that's the narrative. I'm a mover and a doer, not a dreamer.
We are constantly telling ourselves stories, and what we believe is the most important, and I genuinely believe that, and I know that. I want to believe on a consistent basis that I am enough.